Hi everybody, welcome back to my third video in the series A Road to Manual. So this time we're doing track 1 in the soccer field. So diving straight on in. Now this one took me a bit longer than I expected to be able to get a full 5 stars. It's a little bit more complicated than the track 1 on the factory. I adopt the same strategy I did for the factory, where I was just planning on winging it basically, going full throttle and the highest camera angle. Now, full disclosure, this isn't the first time I'm practicing this. I've spent about a week doing between 15 and 30 minutes a day getting some practice in. I find if I spend more than that, I get diminishing returns on my time spent, and by that I just mean that the longer I spend, the worse my times end up getting. I found the golden window really of about 15 minutes to 30 minutes a day practicing on just the free flight mode. It was about a week, and I thought that I would be good enough to do the time trial. So as you can see, I'm still not quite there, but by the end of this video, hopefully, I would have got 5 stars. You can see on the first complete fly through that I do, I managed to get 24 seconds. Now, the time for 5 stars is 14 seconds, so I need to shave about 10 seconds off, which at this stage seems like a bit of a daunting task, but it happens pretty quickly, and it's quite surprising how quickly you can actually shave off even things like 10 seconds. So this track starting off is basically just 2 180-degree turns, and you can be pretty relaxed with the height gain or height loss. Can't lose too much height, of course, because you just hit the ground and have to restart, but you can fly through those gates at a reasonable height. The catch, of course, is coming out of that second 180-degree turn, you have to be able to go through the height-restricted gate, so you can't be too high. Now, I'm not too sure if the best strategy is what I'm doing, of just going full throttle, 100%, full camera angle, and basically just winging it, but it seems to make sense in my head. I mean, maybe around some of the flags I could do something along the lines of cut the power just as I'm approaching the flag, do a nice sharp turn, and then bring the power back on, because of course as you go faster, your radius of turn increases. So if you want to do a nice sharp turn, the best way to do it is to have a smaller or lower speed. But I'm not too sure if that applies to drones or not, or aircraft that can just yaw on the spot. So as you can see, I just got 14.171 seconds, and that was only after about 3 minutes of practicing. So after 3 minutes, I ended up shaving pretty much 10 seconds off my time. With that theory, I should be able to get under 14 seconds in my next playthrough, but that's probably not going to happen. Around about the 4-minute mark, my attention span starts to wear out, and I end up making more and more mistakes and just getting frustrated. So I took a small break, went upstairs, made myself a coffee, and came back down to have another go. Overall, the flying is getting smoother and I'm making less random mistakes, but still not quite getting that feeling where I'm actually under control. Like as you can see there, that end bit, I'm sort of falling through the finish line sideways, and even though I got 14.354, it's still A, isn't good enough, and B, doesn't feel like I'm actually in control. It definitely feels like I'm trying to balance a spinning plate on a stick, and I'm just running around doing everything I can to keep it in the air, not actually making it do what I want. Now, the rest of the video ended up being quite long. I've got about another 15 minutes of footage, and it's pretty much me just making mistakes and not finishing the course. So I've cut out a bunch of that because it's really not that entertaining, and it probably just frustrates you as much as it was frustrating me to actually do it. I have left some of those runs in, however, but that's more just to show you that even though I'm still making mistakes, overall I am progressing and the flying does get smoother and quicker overall. It's just the sort of random mistakes every now and then. But there you go, as you can see, 13.960, so that is good enough for 5 stars. And I am happy with that. I'm not going to attempt to do that again, that's for sure, not like in the factory. Now, one thing that I thought actually was to try flying through the course nice and smooth at approximately 30-degree camera angle. I'm not trying to set any records here, I'm just trying to fly smoothly. Now, of course, since I'm actually used to a different camera angle, it's a lot harder than I was expecting. The controls don't quite behave how they were at the high camera angle, and I do need to coordinate roll and yaw myself. It gets quite difficult and I get frustrated, so end up just doing some loops to try and come back around and get under control, but keep missing my targets and just getting a bit fed up. Decided to go for a tour around the stadium and have a look at other parts of the track, try and line up from a distance and see if I can get it the 3rd or 4th time lucky, end up hitting the side and just rage quitting as per usual. Decided to give it one more go and really just focus on nice smooth flying, not caring about times or speed or anything like that, just getting the drone under control in manual mode. Finishing up, you can see that it's pretty slow, like flying around like that, even though it's smoother, it's still 26 seconds, my slowest time, and I don't think that's the right way to go, so we'll see. Now, since I got 5 stars, I ended up unlocking new tracks, so you can see there in the factory I've unlocked track 2, which is probably going to be my next video. In the soccer field, I've also unlocked another track 2 as well, and I'm going to leave that one for once I've mastered the track 2 on the factory. I've also unlocked some more tracks in the parking garage, and this one looks pretty intense. I have had a little bit of a sneak peek, and yeah, it seems well beyond my skill level at this point, but who knows, I might be able to master it at some stage. Anyway, thanks for tuning in again, and I will see you next time. Cheers.